Dolynny TV, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome back to another edition, a Saturday edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. And let me tell you, I don't know how to tell you this. It's another time to go around and around, and where the dart lands, who knows at this point when it comes to the Edmonton Oilers goaltending today. Of course, yesterday the Oilers placed Troy Grosenick on waivers, and that meant, of course, somebody was going to claim him because that's just the way it's going so far this year. So for Grosenick, the best he gets to do is back up Mikko Koskinen for a single game this year, and then now he's headed back to the LA Kings to go back there and do whatever the heck a third string goalie does, pretty much just quarantine, practice, sit on the bench and go somewhere else for 2 weeks kind of deal. So for Troy Grosenick, what a waste of time in Edmonton Oilers land. Now the thing is, right, when you put a guy on waivers, as we've seen with Chase on Ennis, any of those guys, you don't necessarily lose them. But if the Oilers put a third string goalie on waivers, you better believe the Oilers are going to lose them on waivers. That is just guaranteed at this point of the season. That's now Forsberg and Grosenick both claimed by their former clubs on waivers. Yes, the Oilers claimed Grosenick from LA, I'm pretty sure, but end of the day, right, is Carolina had Forsberg the year before, and what a mess. What a complete mess this is. I've been waiting all morning for this, and I was waiting to pretty much have a do-nothing video and essentially just saying he cleared, and now we're clear to go with whatever happens with Mike Smith when he gets back. But that will not be the case, as Grosenick was claimed on waivers today by the LA Kings. So now we kind of await what happens with Mike Smith moving forward. Obviously today, as we get into the preview, that'll mean that Stuart Skinner will be activated from the taxi squad for tonight's game more than likely, and then you'll have some other stuff going on with the Oilers today to get ahead of tonight's game against the Calgary Flames in Calgary. So that's kind of where this all gets going. Smith can't be activated until tomorrow. That's Reed Wilkins. I was going to say there's something I'm missing here. Yeah, so it's Smith can't come back till tomorrow. So Skinner will likely back up Mikko Koskinen tonight, and worst case scenario is Mikko Koskinen is going to let Stuart Skinner into the game. Sorry, there's a lot going on Twitter right now, and I'm trying to keep my mind on that and on the video at the same time just in case I miss something. But as we find ourselves, this is getting to the point of hilarity at this point, and I can only do one thing, and that is feel bad for Troy Grosenick. Like, the guy comes to Edmonton after having to quarantine, after having to practice, after having to get all ready to go, just to be put on waivers pretty much in time for Mike Smith to be ready, right? Put on waivers on Friday, Smith's ready on Sunday, and there's only one game in between, so it's not a big deal. And yeah, that is kind of a big deal for a guy that, right, probably away from his family, probably really not sure what's going on in life anywhere because he packs his bags, goes to Edmonton, probably living out of a pretty sweet hotel room paid for by Daryl Cates. But it's tough. It's tough. How do you in any sense of the word find normalcy in this landscape that is the NHL's current season when you are the guy that gets treated like this? And what I mean by that is you get treated as the third string, which means waivers and new towns and everything, and you never play a hockey game. That's got to be the toughest thing out there in the NHL to do right now, is be a third string goalie, whether you're Forsberg, Dell, I don't know, somebody like, who was it, Eric Comrie, Troy Grosenick now. There's several names out there that have been floating twice or three times, but nowhere near to the extent that Troy Grosenick has been run around by both the Edmonton Oilers and the LA Kings now at this point of the season. That's never good when that cracks your shoulder sneezing. That's rough. Anyway, yeah, so LA claims Grosenick back to their club, and this just means things keep going around. Thankfully, the only thing is there are no more waivers for today, so that's a happy thought for us. We're not going to sit here and have to play this game all over again at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so that's nice. But right, is Man, if only we had the same success losing Tyler Ennis, Alex Chase on Jujhar Khaira on waivers as we have anytime we put a goalie on waivers. You imagine Mike Smith sucks it up? Put Mike Smith on waivers. Yeah, everybody would be right happy about that, wouldn't they? And then away Mike Smith goes, and the Oilers clear cap space. They clear Mike Smith, and oh my goodness, could you believe that? That would be quite fantastic now, wouldn't it? For a lot of Oilers fans who complained about Mike Smith being the problem. Oh, but I forgot, he's the solution because we don't want to play Stuart Skinner yet. Everybody wants to play Stuart Skinner. See, this is what I'm getting at right now is just kind of the hilarity and the calamity of the Oilers goaltending situation. Everybody doubting the Oilers goalies coming in. Mike Smith goes down. All of a sudden, he's the biggest solution the Oilers have ever had in net because the Oilers are going to suck without him in net. And then all of a sudden, the Oilers stay par, 6-6. Hopefully 7-6 tonight, which would be above 500 with Mike Smith out of the lineup and a rookie goaltender or a third-string goaltender backing you up in Mikko Koskinen's bench area. And then, of course, you got Koskinen riding all those games, everything except for one game out of 13 to start the season. And don't forget the other one was a win against the Ottawa Senators in which Stuart Skinner won his first career NHL start. And now all of a sudden you get Mike Smith back. Grosenick's gone. That's another hilarity point. And I don't know. Is everybody ready to say the Oilers are going to be the best team in the NHL now because Mike Smith's back? Because the Oilers were so doomed without Mike Smith? You see where I'm going? You see where I'm going? The fun that we can have with this hilarious goaltending carousel we've got going here in Edmonton. Don't forget, at one point we had Dylan Wells as a taxi squad goalie. That's a thing that happened. Don't kid yourself. That's the thing that happened. He's now, I believe, back in Bakersfield, or else he's still quarantining in Edmonton. I honestly don't know the last time I heard Dylan Wells' name other than the fact that the Oilers recalled him to the taxi squad. So it's a mess out there for the Oilers goalies, but Mike Smith can be activated tomorrow. You've got, of course, a lot of cap dandies to get going, so that could be interesting to see how that all works out. And then, of course, we got to see how the Oilers approach things tonight against the Calgary Flames. So we got a couple more videos to go. We got to talk about Dylan Holloway a little bit later today. But for now, that's the goaltending situation. That's the waiver situation. The hilarious nature of this continues, and somehow the Oilers continue to be just fine. Here's a fun stat for you. I'll leave you on this. How about that? The Oilers are, and can be at the end of the night, 5 points out of first place. They could be as close to 3 points out of first place. By the end of tonight, the Calgary Flames could be 2 points out of last place should the Oilers win and the Montreal Canadiens lose to the Ottawa Senators. So, talk about a flip of events, right? Oh my goodness, 4 straight in a row. What that does in the North Division, it does a lot. And I'm sorry, if you wanted to write off the season a couple of weeks ago, you got to keep your head up and you got to stop breaking your ankle jumping off the bandwagon. That's all I got to say. And with that, guess what? We're live again tonight for the Battle of Alberta. So stick around Dolynny TV today. We'll talk plenty of Oilers, Flames, and then we'll also get ready for an epic live stream tonight. Hopefully a whole bunch of goodies happening tonight. I'm Tyson. This is Dolynny TV. I'm up on out of here.